playoffs on 2K Sports. I'm Paintbrush, and I'm here with Balloon.
And that's right, we are getting ready for another game of the night. This presentation is now the second game of this doubleheader of tonight's evening matchup.
Tonight we've had the first game. The Boston Celtics are facing against Orlando Magic at Kia Center. At this point, Boston Celtics have been starting off that strong as we've got a great looking on this matchup on its way. The first one, as we are about to be seeing, the Celtics have already won 2 games in a row. It was no confidence, no sweat, and nothing gets it done. Boston Celtics have done their abominable best to make the improvement. And with all the range completed, we're about to be seeing here and see if they can get it going.
Right now it's a 2-0 series, and right now we're looking to see if the Orlando Magic can definitely put it back in for Boston Celtics. Can Orlando Magic do it? Let's find out and see what's going on in Orlando, Florida.
The next commentators I have standing in by is Fan, and he's also along with Roy Cruz, and the third commentator of the crew, well, you named it, it's one of our big leagues here, Nickel, and Ali LaForce is the starting at the sports side for tonight's game. And we'll see you all later, everybody, for the post-game show after this.
Now, let's take it a rumble. The second seed Celtics and the 7th seed Orlando Magic is next on 2K Sports. See you later, everybody.
As we are ready to take things on in Game 3 in downtown Orlando. And we got a big matchup on the group between the Celtics and the Magic, ready to prepare for Game 3. An unforgettable moment here for the night. Celtics, Magic is next after this. Greetings everyone, we are at Orlando, Florida, as we're ready to start the third game of the NBA playoffs on 2K Sports. Hi everybody, I'm Finn, and I'm here with my broadcast partner with Roy and Nickel, and center court is Ali LaForce. Starting up in the starting lineups, we have Drew Holiday, he's with Brown. Derek White is with Jason Tatum, and Porzingis is right to center. On Orlando Magic, we have Jalen Suggs. He's also along with Paolo Banchero. And in center is Wendell Carter Jr. And Franz Wagner, he's right to wing. And Harris is checked in to start things off. And Carmel Pope is right to wing on the other side. Starting head coach, Bill Mosley and Joe Mazzulla. It's game time. We are at Orlando to get started for the third game. Now Holiday will set it over here to start things off. We'll make a new change off here. Set up screen for White. For the 2, he will not make it in here, as this will be Franz Wagner with his first rebound in Game 3. On his way down, sets it back over to Suggs. Taking a look over on the floor. Slides it back. Suggs slides back. A pass to Carmel Pope. Shoots over White. That will take a 2-pointer for KCP. He's got his first bucket in.
Great chances. That happens with KCP on a great drive, and he puts a layup in.
Here's Brown for 3. And a 3-pointer will be missed off target. Sucks in his own rebound, now finds Wagner. On a chance for a layup, and he will put it in reverse this time. Franz Wagner, his first bucket in for Orlando Magic. There's Tatum. As he'll slide it up, he'll have the first 2 in here for the Boston Celtics. He's got his first 2 of the game in the Game 3. Now Wagner's right toward the wing. Right from elbow. Brown on him. Banchero rolls to Carmel Pope. Pocket 6. Slides back. Carmel Pope. Thinking about a 3. That's missed off at target, and it's rebounded by Porzingis over to Tatum. Tatum's really like giving them anything what he did. But something happened with his ultimate on his rebound for KCP. He was nowhere to be found off. He just wants to shoot it anyway. Holiday. And a rebound puts in for KCP. a chance for Styles with a quick drive. As he puts it in for a number 2, it is a 6-2 game. Now Holiday rolls it over to Tatum. Tatum for 3. Off mark, rebound by Suggs. Suggs is right toward the lane. Setting a pass to Ventura. Ventura up. 2-pointer no good. Jason Tatum with the rebound. Slides it down. In the middle on Ventura. Pulls back for the 3. The jump shot's good for JT as he's got his first 3-pointer to get a close game 6-5.
I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but that really must have been changing it. All of a sudden, it was no stoppage to make the advantage bring back in.
Here's Derek White on his way down with a shy, but he's fouled. That'll be KCP's first personal foul and first team foul for Orlando. 5:05 remaining in the first quarter of the game.
You know, that didn't seem to start off that strong. That different gear take must have been White, and he really doesn't have all that effort. He didn't think it was happening enough, and this could have been the end of it if he couldn't make it in.
First free throw coming up for Boston Celtics with only 5:05 remaining as Derek White's at the free throw line shooting 2. The free throw drops in for Derek White. Now, I know what you're expecting for Derek White to be playing out here, but when he first played with San Antonio Spurs, it was really not that hard, was putting in with some big efforts. And then before he did, he became to be one of our big famous in the league. And he's now right in toward in the top position compared to any players that he's been drafted for.
Well, I see what Derek White must have been choosing it in. It just really happens for some reasons, and all that game is, have a larger take on that. They really are so hard in the key game. I mean, they really done all their work. Not really anyone who wants to take things out. And sometimes it does happen. Anybody can be a hero for Derek White to finish it off.
KCP finds a pass aside, shooting down for 1, and he will not make it in, and this rebounded by White. Brown on a drive, couldn't get there from her as Ventura with the rebound. Now he will roll it in from the opposite side. Suggs on a chance, and he rolls on away, and he went on the baseline, and this will turn over to Boston ball.
Well, he was a little too gassed out this time. I mean, that's not a good sign.
We're really, of course, talking in from Mosley, and we really have to be playing in for one of the better games. We're not really quitting it often, Lee, and we really have to try to find a way through. We need to do our better work. This routine is definitely what we need. Get right into it.
It's just what they all do. I mean, when Jaylen Brown is watching on that, we really got to think of it quickly. That's what about the Magic team. They really have to play hard in confidence.
Wagner's on Brown. He makes a drive and he's fouled on Jaylen Brown. That'll be his first personal foul, the first team foul for Boston Celtics.
It's really going to get a good chance here for Wagner. And you see that drive afterwards? That was almost going to be putting it in. And he did. And now you know, now or never, Wagner's going to give a chance.
At the free throw line, shooting 2 will be Franz Wagner as he'll set it in for his first free throw at the line. The free throw will set in for Wagner. Now some new changes here as Beyonce, as Black, and Harris are checked in for Suggs, KCP, and Carter Jr.
One of the biggest reasons here that he has been able to play it in for Michigan Wolverines is he played for the German professional basketball team. This is where he was first in back in 2023. And then before on that you knew, he played it with the Michigan Wolverines in that game. For his college professional team. I wasn't saying this for him before a fan, but he's really showing how his energy is pretty to lack of. And sometimes what I really see him do is really keeping confident out there at every single digit. maybe that might be the great key as we were looking at for Wagner. If he gets the team up at the top for the first time to start off with Orlando Magic to get the first win. Might be a great take. I mean, what could they say now? It might be start off on its way.
Here's Harris after the throwdown by Jason Tatum. Here's Patatse. Patatse with Banchero. Over Tatum. It's rebounded by White. 3:07 remaining in the first quarter. Right now it's Time Harris against White. Rolls it off to Brown. Brown sends back to White. The screen by Porzingis. White over Batatse. And a solid D here by Batatse with his own rebound. Black on the other side. Give it over to Harris. Harris. The pass over to Banchero. Banchero slides it over now, finding Wagner. The screen by Batatse. Around the move. Big drive and it's stopped by Porzingis. Holiday gets it back.
This really mustn't take anything with some big changes for Porzingis. He didn't really make that one a great stop on the D.
And now Brown. Selling it down. The move around. Backstepper. Great D by Black. Black's got his first rebound of the game with 2 minutes remaining. Black on a cut in. Trying to give over Batatse, but he needs to make a new regroup change. Banchero for 3. Outside no good. Now it's Holiday sets to White. White in the corner. Transition makes the drive. Now White puts it in with the first layup in. He really took that a piece. Franz Wagner straight toward on Brown. And Wagner setting a screen for Batatse. He'll try a tough corner shot. It's rejected by Porzingis. Black from outside. Running down by 1. It's no good. Batatse up. Rebound. Oh, Black. What a take and a jam here. After Batatse with the assist. This is what I just seen Batatse. He's got a good feeling on his mind to get that rebound. The first timeout will be on Boston Celtics with 1:09 remaining in the first quarter.
It just doesn't make anything hard simple. We've really seen how he just makes it in and a nice change.
And now let's have a look here for Franz Wagner. It's one of their big plays here from the German player that he really has done for. And what his take is making every set type of his sets on the court that he has been playing for. He was a native of Berlin, and he started his career with the basketball Bundesliga, the BBL club of the Alba Berlin. By 2019, he was named BBL Best German Young Player. He has played for the German youth in the national team, winning a gold medal at 2018 Albert Schweitzer tournament. And his older brother, Moritz Wagner, we've already seen him in a real game, but he is now showing off what his recruiter definitely makes a change off that same possible. And I know what you're thinking now. He must have been showing off his professional that he does for. For the last part of the game, it was nothing to say for every other colleges and every other life. It just makes it a great legend to start his game percentage.
Well, I know how it happens, though. All with the making of he does for him. I mean, it just happens now. But when you do this, you just really think of Wagner, and Moritz Wagner is all here for him. I think this might be a great start out to make it look strong.
Here's Holiday, step back for 2. Rebound by Cornet. Pritchard from outside. Pritchard rolling in, shot, good for Pritchard for 2. And he rolled it up here for the first 2-pointer. And now Paul Anthony is right toward the wing. Now Anthony decides to give to Harris. Harris on it, set to Wagner for 3. He's got it. The 3-pointer knocks it in for Wagner. And now it's a 15-13 game. On a rebound put in. Here's Holiday. The screen by Hauser, and there's an offensive foul on Boston Celtics. That'll be Hauser's foul, and this will be a turnover for Boston. Now the new substitutions are on the court as Joseph's checked in for the Magic. 20 seconds left in the first. Anthony try to roll it in. 15 seconds remaining. Anthony with 10. Watching the time go down. The layup, no good. And this will be a foul on the floor. That'll be Cole Anthony's loose ball foul with this first personal.
I don't see what happened with this one. I think that must have been like how hard it go by. I don't think it didn't happen with that.
And that'll do. The first quarter is come to the end. 15-13. We got a little comeback range here for the Magic, but we'll find out about the second quarter when we come back after the break. You're watching the NBA playoffs on 2K Sports. Tightest game here, but we'll be back soon enough. Welcome back, everybody, as we're ready to get started for the second quarter in Orlando. Big close game here, 15-13's the score, but they're trying to get all what they need. What did you take here, there, guys?
Well, I was pretty sure enough that this didn't really think it was going to happen like that. All I know is that they were scoring in, and there's a little comebacks here for Orlando. I didn't see anything else that was going to happen if they're going to keep it in.
Well, I did say so too. I mean, they would have noticed how this is going to happen. But the change-up doesn't really matter.
Here's Isaac as he will start things over. He's with on Cole Anthony. And then it's Harris. Then right toward wing is Suggs. And Bogner's right toward the wing. Isaac sets the dice to Silva. The Silva pass. Anthony up with the drive, and he drives it in to tie it up for 15. He's really thinking it all, but he can.
Well, this must have been said for De Silva. He really hadn't picking it up anything.
Holiday's on Wayne, and it's right now Anthony's watching on Pritchard. A step back for two. A rebound by Cornette. And a rebound by Isaac. He'll give it again to Joseph. Joseph slides back. The screen by Isaac. Joseph passes to Isaac. Up it goes. No good. Rebound by Cornette. Pritchard's right toward wing. And he will set it over right toward the other wing. Pritchard slides it over to Hauser for the two. And that's no good again. Isaac with the rebound, setting it over, now flying over to Silva.
Their last quarter was not really like an easy option, but I was seeing how it was going to happen all of a sudden. But it didn't seem like it wasn't pretty hard enough to make it easy work afterwards. And all he said now is, we're not really playing it up to a harder game. We really need it all to play it in.
For the rebound by Wagner. Here's the Silva. Parker with the steal. And here's Holiday. Goes the other way. A send over to Pritchard. Pritchard on the wing. Up top. Screen on Hauser. Fakes the three. Here's Horford. Pointing. Around the take. It's rebounded by Wagner. Now here's Joseph. He's right toward their wing. Near baseline, Joseph. On a shot. Over. Cornette is good. What a tight hit for Joseph. And the timeout will be on Boston. 5:39 remaining.
Well, I can say now, I mean, that's big on the tippers. If they didn't really think it was going to happen all the afterwards. But they know now, they really kept it on coming in.
And with that one, if you always know about the upset games, we noticed that this happened. If you watched it before, the Knicks already have 2-0 series at Boston, and they are just heading home. Is this their next prediction to go for?
Well, I I think the Knicks are going to be coming in there. They haven't won anything in the finals. But the problem is, I think the Pacers have already needed one to win the finals. And all of that, it looks like there is one chance that's going to happen with this. So I'm thinking that the Pacers might win the finals for this one.
I don't know about that. I think that the Knicks are definitely putting a higher range. I think that New York team, we won it all. And I think this is our bigger lucky moment here. If we need a parade here on the Macy's Thanksgiving, I think this might be a better take on a spot that we might have it all for the team to celebrate.
Well, I mean, it might be all what the take is, but I think there's one way if they can win it again. Let's hope that there is. Now new substitutions are on the court as for Porzingis is checked back on the court with Jason Tatum, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, and Craig. For the Magic, 5 players checked out, 5 players checked in. On top of Riley LaForce about Joe Mazzulla, the head coach of the Boston Celtics, he was really where he made all of his history in. But the changes are, no other receptionary has been making involved the better sense of his take. You know what a chance is putting in? Anything. So, the moment ago we've really been talking it in before the game time, we've really been seeing about Jason Tatum as Joe Mazzulla is getting in to help him out for his game. We really need to step in for us, folks. We have a lot of patience to do for. And for our playoff in this mounting, we have to play hard. No stoppage, no takes.
It just really needs to give everything a hit. When all happens with, we don't really think that nobody was able around, we need to get this thing back faster than we can.
After a free throw made here for Tatum, and after a foul will be on the Magic, he's at the line shooting 1.
He makes this one a good end that time. Jason Tatum is out really only the day when he really been playing in for. They want the team to let do it again.
Tatum hits the second free throw. Now Caldwell Pope, he's right to run away. The step back now finds Banchero. Banchero rolls up, spin the move. The rebound puts in by White. 5:09 remaining in the first half. White sets to Craig for the 2. Rebounded by Banchero. A set over to Suggs. Suggs finds Caldwell Pope with a spin move over Brown. That sets a rebound by Brown as he makes another rebound. Under 5 minutes remaining, and a foul will be ticked in. That's going to be Suggs, his first personal.
There's no change better. I mean, not the opposite in the position. The side of it has been kicked out. That's definitely a bad news to put in for the Magic, and they really are unable to get that rejection out of the way.
Free throw coming up for Derek White with under 5 minutes remaining in the first half.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw good for Derek White. They were really expecting it before about Derek White. He was really one of our nicest on the play games. Ever since ahead, when he knows how he definitely just chews it all, you really think it was his big deal. I just say about Derek White, he's been playing on American basketball guard positions. And with the stats afterwards, he was really on the top on angles to play for. From Colorado, and then by high school, he played for Legends at Parker, Colorado. He really thinks it was all for his lucky moment, doesn't he?
Well, I expect it for Derek White. I mean, this might be our big change if he does it for plenty. I think the game for him is going to be a big line of takes that anybody does.
After a missed scare for the Magic, here's White. A set over to Brown. Brown slides back. The screen for Porzingis. Here's the motion. Passes to Porzingis. The three-pointer, no good. Suggs with this rebound. Just about 4 minutes remaining in the first half. And here's the drive. PCP slays it down. He really must have had a nice take in afterwards. And he pulled in the muscle. Now here's White. A send over to Brown. The screen by Tatum. The move around, He got it through. Brown makes another 2-pointer on the drive. That's up to a 1-point lead possession. And here's Suggs. He's right toward the opposite side of the court. The screen by Carter Jr. Here's a drive and a shot. And it's rebounded by KP. Tatum pulling it the other way. As he'll now try to give some opportunity over on the opposite zone. Slides back. Tatum. Step back 2. Rebound by KP. Fades. Watching the time. Up it goes. Good. Kristaps Porzingis with another 2-pointer.
This ball carry on. It must have happened with KP on his own projective. No chance to stop that play. They would have ever hear a big on the take.
And the fouls on Craig. That will be his first and their first team foul for Boston. Banchero at the free throw line shooting 2.
Now it seems like it was not always easy enough that they really been choosing it for. We need to be playing it out hard. A deal.
Free throw coming up by Paolo Banchero with under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. He knocks it in. Now there's a new change, but yet Patatse and Wagner checked in for Carter Jr. and for Carwell Pope. Black moves over to point guard and Suggs moves to shooting guard. And he will drop them both. 1-point possession between Orlando and Boston. Tatum. And he went back for a violation. His right foot stepped on the other side of the court. And this turns over to a magic ball.
Well, that seemed to be unfair. I mean, I thought this was not a really easy take. This really must have been knocked out. I mean, that's a common mistake.
And here's Banchero, sends to Wagner. Wagner pass to Suggs. Suggs on the wing. Sets to Black. Black for 3. No good. Rebound by Brown. Brown in the opposite wing. Spinning the floor. Brown. Slides back. Screen on Tatum. Give it to Tatum. Off it on an open 3. And he's got it. They are pulling it up by 4 after Brown with the assist. We're coming down to a 2-minute marker in this first half of the game. And here's Black. A speed drive. Whoa, what do you think? He really must have finished that one with the piece.
Indeed so. I think Black must have got a great use of his footwork set, and he just got a nice drive. Just a good take in, and he's doing it for him. Set so now.
Tatum for another 3. Step back 3, no good. Here's Black. On White. Pass to Patatse. Here's Suggs on Brown. And he'll give again to Black. Black. Over KP. Open wing. Suggs. With the time winding down. Over Brown. No good. That will be White with a rebound. They're in a 1-minute mark in the first half. Brown and the team, oh, what a cut! And he just jumps in with no traveling. He adds a number 2 for the Celtics.
Wish you would have expected to say Jaylen Brown. That must have been a nice, easy take. This is a big try that he has been able to do.
Wagner for the foul, and he will be stumped here. 50 seconds left. This is Brown with his second personal foul. And only second team foul for Boston Celtics.
This really going to get over this. Line scrimmage doesn't really make you change. They practice and practice, but they need to get right into this. If no fouls regained, then they need to get finding another open room so they can try to answer it back.
The free throw will not came for Wagner. Coming up will be the halftime report, as this will be Ernie Johnson along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaq O'Neal for our 3 commentators for the first half of the status. It's been a very tight one here, but it looks like it might be a close of a 2-point digit lead. Both players are checked out. Both players checked in. Hauser, Horford, Cornet. As right now, it will be on the other side of it for De Silva and Batatse. Under 50 seconds remaining in the second. Here's Horford. And this will be an offensive foul. Not really, but the personal foul is on Joseph. That'll be the 13th foul for Orlando. Now this will be Batatse checking out as Isaacs check in. Wagner moves to center. Here's Hauser. On the pass to Pritchard. Pritchard, screen on White. Rules a back stepper. Set to Cornet. White for the 2. It's no good. Cornet with the rebound finding White. Horford outside. Pritchard out in the wing. Screen on White. Time running down. That tough shot doesn't make it in. It's Harris with the rebound. And he'll try to make a 3 or 2. Here's Harris. Will he tie it? Takes him back there, and he's fouled. Only 6 seconds as they will count the bucket in. It'll be 27 game.
That's a big piece. And De Silva will end this first half game.
So it's now a tie game as we roll into halftime. Wow. What do you expect now? This has been a closest game here. We'll take a break and we'll get to a halftime show on the board. Stay tuned. Second half is next after this. Alright, let's check out the first half of the game as we're seeing this close matchup. Both teams are tied 27-27. Unless you take here as we have the Celtics, they're rolling in high, but the Magic are closing in the second quarter. Let's have your takes here, Balloon, about the Celtics.
Well, it must have been like a change-off difference. This really couldn't get better at it because the 2 players are giving the scores much change-off. There's no way to have it better than that. They must have been playing in a hard step. And how about you, Paintbrush, for the Magic?
Well, Magic team really are just giving all what they did. They really are coming back afterwards. And probably they might need to keep on in to close the gadget out. And that's it for now. Let's go back to center court to Fan. See you later, folks. You've been watching the 2K Sports Halftime Show. We are back in the O-Zone, ready to start for the third quarter, as both teams are even 27-27. A big zone as we put it up for Jason Tatum as the process of number 0 makes it all with a moment of his time angle.
He really hasn't seen anything, but Jason Tatum really must have had all the pieces. This doesn't make anything that's harder and simple.
We now start the second half of the game as we are all set to go. Here the group's in for the Celtics. Derek White, he's with Drew Holiday. KP is in the center with Jaylen Brown. And Jason Tatum's in point power forward position. Now here's White on a slide down. Oh yes, he can definitely fly, and he will silence the crowd as they take the lead to start the third quarter.
Oh my goodness. Just silent down. Looks like this is a quiet out there to start the third quarter.
Sucks the Carwell Pope. The layup will put it in. White with the rebound, and he's now right the other way to Holiday. Here's Brown. For the finish. Oh! Knocked him down on the floor. Wagner, he just noticed that there was no foul in his perception. He would have had that called afterwards.
Are you kidding me? That's what Jaylen Brown, he's like shutting the front door. Stay out of here.
That was unbelievable. The rebound by Tatum after a miss by Carter Jr. And now Brown trying to turn it on the outside. Holiday from outside back to Brown. Brown cutting in over Carter Jr. A good take here for the defense for the Magic. As Carter Jr. adds another rebound. Here's Suggs. Suggs toward middle. On his way. Backstep. Cardwell Pope outside. Slides it over. Here's Banchero. White on him. For two. It's rebounded by KP. Just 2 minutes past in the third quarter. Here's Holiday. Off the ground for three. Doesn't get a drop on, but KP will dish it in with a hand drop, and this will be another 2-pointer for Kristaps Porzingis. Now here's Suggs as he's right toward on the other court. Looking it over, KCP in. The drive went too strong. Now White will take it over. Here's Tatum. Tatum fades. The pass to White. White rolls back to Porzingis. Here's Tatum. Tatum looking in. 5 seconds. White up. And a rebound by KCP will play it back the other way. Cardwell Pope on the rush over White. Here's the drive, and good. They will rolling in quickly. Contagious Cardwell Pope with 6 points.
He didn't really say that KCP was making the finish afterwards. He really had already done.
Now White's toward on the top of the lane, finding Brown. Brown with another dunk. That one stops on Banchero. And Suggs rolls to Cardwell Pope. Here's Suggs. From top, here it is logo. Over to Cardwell Pope. Cardwell Pope to Banchero. Banchero. Slicking move. Up for two. That rolls in and out. Brown with the rebound. You'll see it the other way. And the middle. Oh, he goes up and in.
That was something. That looks like Jaylen Brown would seem like he was out enough. He was all like Chris showing the crowd out. No stop, no do.
What a replay here as this one's presented by AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Here's Banchero, the screen on Wendell Carter Jr. Pulls up a 2 and rebounded by KP. Off to Tatum. Tatum to join in to finish the drive. Timeout will be on Orlando Magic with 3:52 remaining. 10-2 run in the last 3:47 per minute. And they are really flying in fast.
Just big, and you don't really see anything. You just don't get uncomfortable with this. You really have no patience like you did.
Are you ready for the next skit? We have a next presentation here for you as we have another good on a special sneak peek here to show you what the script is. That's right, because we are about to be presenting you a party freakout in this room. Don't miss your chance here as we have one of our biggest and support. Luigi, Wario, Ballplane Pen, and all the character crews are back for another SOB skit. And this will be their trip to send over to NYC of the BFDI and Anime Insanity Tour of 2025. And the party freakout will be still off for any of them. This will be the next take of this skit, beginning on July 13th, as this will be another for plenty. And with that, you will join the fun with anyone. Don't miss here, only on Sonic Beats. Here's Anthony. On a chance again. Sets to Batate. Batate. Slides back. Black for three. It's good! He just makes a trolley number 3 as it's now down by 5.
Well, they're back in. I mean, I don't know what they did. Looks like that Black really knew he could do it.
And here's Holiday. Screen on Craig. Craig from outside. He'll drop another 3, and this will be a 40-32 game. Up by 7. 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Black sets it over to Anthony. Anthony looks to Patatse. Patatse. Back steps. Sets to Anthony. On the top. No good. Orford with the rebound. Sets to Pritchard. Pritchard. Rolls the drive. That's rebounded by Black. Black on Pritchard. Quick mix. Black looking over. Pass to Patatse. On a shot. Rebound by Craig. 2:25 remaining in the third quarter. Holiday. Deep to Pritchard. For the cut. Oh, Black with a denying effort. And he rolls back to Anthony.
What a great deflection. That's defending onto the team that they really wanted to try to stop at a score to try to even this game.
Wagner! What a one-hand drive! And he pulled up another two-pointer. They're down by 6. And here's Holiday. The spin-off. Step up for 2. Holiday slides back. Over Black. And over Anthony, no good. And now Wagner. On his way, Black up. Stop on Pritchard. Patatse with a 2. On a chance, no good by Horford. Here's Pritchard as we're nearing down to 1 minute mark in the third. Pritchard looks to Horford. Fades for multiple times. Craig for 3. And that's no good for the Boston Celtics.
This has been a hard trouble afterward. They're really not shooting it comfortably.
Now Black. He gave it to Isaac. With the rebound. And a stop by Craig. And Isaac will put it back in for another 2.
Just didn't think it was going to happen this time. This really kept a pace out to knock somebody over.
Here's Hauser. Hauser. Looking his way, find Craig. Craig to the middle. And he will give a throw down with only 40 seconds in the third. And here's Black on the other way down toward the line. Black in middle. The drive. Good. Another 2 pointers for the Magic. Black's got another 2 to raise it up.
It still is going to be just close matches. I don't see any of it, but it looks like it's going to be a hard one to take that.
Anthony to throw it down. Oh, wow! Anthony has been flying over the head and slam it in.
Yes, indeed. Magic is pulling in with the top score.
Pritchard watching the clock. Over to pass the Holiday. With a chance. And it's no good as the time runs down. And we are out of time. Third quarter has come to the end. Only 1 quarter left. 42-40. Fourth quarter coming up after the break.
This has been a tight struggle, but next winner will win Game 3. Indeed so. Win for O.
And how about we have a look here for the State Farm assist of the game?
Well, it's pretty easy now. I mean, all the simple it gets in for the Celtics and the Magic. Here, look what this happens in. Good pass thanks to Drew Holiday as he sets it over by Brown, and he makes a great step in to try to knock on Franz Wagner. It has been no big deal difference. Pass off is great, but for Patatse, it just makes it harder, and he does.
Hope you all enjoying this one, and this is the closest game. If the Magic wins, then they'll pop in on a board. Suggs is with Corvo Pope, Carter Jr. at center, and it's Wagner to center, and De Silva from the other side. Here's Tatum, 5 to shoot. Tatum over KCP with a shot, and he will take it in. Jason Tatum has 16 points in the game as he's rolling up for another 2. Suggs slides back without the backcourt violation. He moves up for a 2. Listen to this one. This is a high fly Magic here for Jalen Suggs. 4-point game. They're down by 2.
I didn't see any. Looks like Jalen Suggs is really like he wants to bring the crowd back to life.
Here's Cornette. Great D by Carter Jr. Now Suggs rolls in from the outside zone. With the spin around. Off to Carter Jr. to Carmel Pope. KCP against White. Pass to Suggs. Over Pritchard. Carter Jr. Here's a 3 for KCP. It's so good with another 3-pointer. Derek White, and there'll be an offensive foul. That's going to be on Boston. As this will be a first personal foul on White. Now as for Tatum, he moves it over as Brown's checked in for Cornette. And Porzingis is in center.
Oh, that sounded really bad afterward. That's on Boston. Looks like they're going to turn it over. I think there's going to be a switchback.
Here's Suggs and a foul. Won't bucket and one. Pritchard with the foul. And another team foul for Boston. Stopping the clock at 6:24 remaining in the fourth. Now the shooting 2 will be Jalen Suggs at the free throw line.
Well, he didn't seem like he was going to be carried in with the bite. And it does the favor. It really felt like it's not a big deal, but it just changes immediately from here.
Free throw good for Jalen Suggs. Don't miss the next games as we will have a next game coverage here for the NBA on 2K Sports. First game as we will start off the Pacers against the Bucks at Fiserv Forum. First game starts at 1 p.m. for the next game coverage. Following along with the next game as for another Western Conference matchup, the start between the OKC Thunders and the other team will be all for the Nets take against the Dallas Mavericks at Dallas, Texas for a 4 p.m. game to get things on a roll. And then later tonight will be the rematching tape. You may have noticed it. The Hawks and Cavs at State Farm Arena, 7 p.m. coverage. And the final game, as this will be the Wolves facing against the Rockets here for our next game at 9:30. Don't miss your games here, only on Sun Up Beast. Now here's Suggs, he's from outside. Carbo Pope. Over to Sokochero! He doesn't make it in there. It's now back to Tatum. Tatum from Wayne. Pritchard to Brown for 3. That pulls it in and out. Jalen Suggs with another rebound. Suggs slides back. Change for Suggs to Banchero. Banchero. Pull around the way. And it's good! They now take their lead for the first time as Banchero scores a layup.
Well, it's easy now. Banchero is really making a good difference on a priority, and he's been dipping it in for another big race. It's a big race that they're doing for.
And here's the Silva. Sucks from outside. The screen by Wendell Carter Jr. Here's the 3. No good for Banchero outside. Brown finds Pritchard. Pritchard for the finish. That's so good again. Banchero with a rebound finds Carmel Pope. Carmel Pope against Tatum. Give to Suggs from outside. Inside Banchero. Over Pritchard. Step back 2-pointer, no good from the free throw line.
He's really missing everywhere. Where's the offense?
I thought that defense must have been a foul. Now Carter Pope, Carmel Pope. 4 minutes left in the fourth. Looking in, screen on Carter Jr. The alley-oop pass over to Carter Jr. There's a good take, and that's for KCP with the assist. White against KCP, down to 3:30 remaining in the fourth. Tatum in transition, finds KP to Brown. Brown up. And good. Difficult shot here for Jaylen Brown as he's trying to get another two-pointer. And here's Suggs as he's right toward the wing. And the timeout will be on Orlando Magic. Just about 3:18 remaining in the fourth quarter. Don't miss your chance here as we got the next game coming up here to finish off with our first game for game 3 in day 1 as we have our big range, the Lakers against the Warriors at Chase Center. That coverage is going to be starting here very soon at 10 p.m. So you won't want to miss this one here. If anything is going to change out with some big takes on their own. You will be able to see what takes in. If both teams are tied for 1, it seems like the next team that's going to take the lead will be in between Warriors or the Lakers.
Might be the difficult decision afterwards. I mean, I think there must be only one that's going to take it all. And probably that Stephen Curry may have a better drive at the range. And I think a step back 3 with Jimmy Butler is going to be insane. I can't wait to see that one. Me too.
And for a moment, let's have a reveal with the New Balance player of the game. Tonight's game of the player goes to Jason Tatum.
Tatum was no big joke. He really is putting some highlights, all perception. He really must have been maintaining it for his whole lifetime expanding to give all that he wanted. Big changes are, Tatum is unstoppable.
Now as Wagner sets the Suggs, we have an idle force standing by for Jalen Suggs for their team for the Magic. We really are putting it in. Our team is no playing for us there, gentlemen. We really are going to put it back in together. Let's push this things in and don't try to lose a commitment. If the foul's been changed, don't worry about it. Let's do it on our own. After the foul's on Jaylen Brown, Wagner's heading to the free throw line shooting 2 for a chance for a lead.
Shoot 2.
Wagner hits the free throw. This might be for a chance for a lead if he gets another free throw down. And he drops the second free throw. And now have the lead up by 1. But what will Holiday do? Give it over to Tatum. Tatum slides back. Over Manchero, the foul, and he will not take it in for a bucket and 1. This will be another foul in Orlando. Manchero with his first personal.
Oh, that team foul has been like keeping it in out of tight. That patient is nowhere perceptional. This is definitely going to be a hard strain for Jason Tatum to hit the free throw line.
Now he's at the free throw line shooting 2 with under 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Tatum knocks the free throw down.
Boy, what do they say now? Jason Tatum is really like pushing it bad? I don't think there's no take. Might be a typical decision for Jason Tatum as he's going to drive it in towards the bucket rim.
And he drops another free throw for Jason Tatum. Here's Wagner. On the tape. With a spin. Over Brown. That's so good. Brown with the rebound the other way. Passes over. Tatum up. It's so good. Banchero with the rebound sets the Suns and now Wagner. Oh, here he goes. And a take on a drive. He put it back up by 1. Under 2:30 remaining Hitting in the fourth. Here's White.
Oh, the crowd is loving it. Wagner is picking it up, and he's putting up a lead in.
Here's Tatum finds Brown. Brown looks to White. White will send over to Porzingis. Again to Holiday. 5 to shoot. Holiday. Finish. Foul. That'll be on Suggs with his second. And his second team foul for Orlando. Stop the clock at 2:04 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Oh, this has definitely been like a bad and worse afterwards. Looks like this is not turning to be a successful day for Orlando Magic.
Holiday at the free throw line shooting 2. Looks like your Magic fans wants to win the O in game 3, but they don't think they could let them take 2 if he makes it in. Holiday makes the first free throw.
The time run game out there. It's a new game there, guys. Don't cry. We know what happens with this team because Boston Celtics have been trying to keep all their way out.
Holiday drops a second free throw down, and it's now a 1-point possession game. Here's Suggs. Suggs is on Holiday. He'll say it again at Carter Jr. With a spin on KP. On a take. Great team by KP. Carter Jr. up. He couldn't get another rebound in. Tatum. In the middle. Drive. No good. Rebound by Suggs. Down to 90 seconds in the fourth. Oh, Wagner, he wants to do this again. But he couldn't get another 2-pointer to drop in for the lead. Holiday's right thrown away. And a top to KP. Fades. Shoots. No. Carter Jr. with the rebound again to Suggs. Suggs. Oh, what about Chero? Trying to go over Tatum. Here's Suggs. Down to a final minute in the fourth for the spin around. Oh, he didn't get there. Suggs misses again. Couldn't get the lead up by 1. And here's Holiday for 3. No good. Carter Jr. back to KCP.
We're really on a struggle afterward. There's a lot of missed three-pointers opportunity. This needs to get some time done.
30 seconds left. Brown. Tatum. You bet. Tatum makes a 3-pointer under 30 seconds in the fourth. This has been an extension of the game.
They are really not going to play it off like they did. Looks like Magic could get the win in the O's. Remember the last game as in for real? They only won a game 3. Well, they didn't get there. They're really got to find a way to get a win. And with that, with under 30 seconds, they just couldn't get over it. There's some free throws and 2-pointers have been missing for Jalen Suggs. He tries it every time, but he misses, and Wagner misses, and all the players misses. This is what happens when they don't really get over to a comfortable start.
Well, folks, I know what you've been thinking right now, but what about the Celtics beating over the Knicks? Well, I don't think there is a choice but that. It seemed to be that maybe someone might be able to win it over by the other team. If you only watch this game, there will be a calling card at the end of the video, and you will go check things out. How this finish start to play on a strong finish for the New York Knicks. You might be a Knicks fan, you may be not.
Wait, nobody knows. They don't give a credit with the Knicks fan. Nobody does. What about Celtics? Maybe.
Down to 30 seconds. The Magic will now find a way to get through this. Suggs. Over Holiday. It's stopped. Brown. And we'll take the intentional foul on Jalen Suggs with his third. Just 21 seconds left. And with 1 foul to give for Orlando. And I will give it over, and that's going to do it. So the Jalen Suggs has his 4th personal, and a free throw technical will be putting in for Jaylen Brown. Wow, you always see what coaches make it I bid if they're doing it for.
Well, it's been like nothing gives over. We really want this all to be a 3-0 extension game. I don't believe that they really have been playing it like that for anybody.
Brown makes the first free throw.
Well, looks like the Celtics are going to pull up with the win, and there will be taking some time, and then get ready for Game 4, because if this happens again, then we really are going to be all tipped out and have it next night. It's been a hard difficulty runs, but the Strange is not easy enough, and they do for.
Under 20 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. No timeouts left for Orlando. Sides for three, and that will be it. And another foul will be on Magic. That will be their 15th foul for the Magic. Jason Tatum at the free throw line, shooting 2.
Well, this has been like a big disaster afterward. They're not really happy enough to make a win. And this is definitely unfortunate. It's been a big end here for 3 games in a losing streak for the Magic and a 3-game winning streak in the playoffs. This goes to Boston.
One final group substitution for the Boston Celtics and the Magic as 4 players are off the court. Porzingis goes on the court. Tatum moves over. And a couple new changes for the Magic. As for Harris, Isaac, Wagner, and Corey Joseph are checked in with Harris. And he drops it everyone. For the Hope, Anthony fades for 3, and that will do it. Final score, 59-51. Celtics extend the lead 3-0 in Orlando. It's different here. And wow, what do we all know for? This has been a big win after all.
Yeah, indeed. And as for Tatum, it's a light-out game.
Now we go over to Ali LaForce for our courtside player of the game. Who do you have, Ali?
Jason, with you guys being such a young team, how do you continue to improve to reach your potential?
We got to watch film. I mean, we did a lot of good things today. A lot of things we could have done better. And we just got to be focused, composed, play with a lot of poise, and we'll be fine.
Poise normally comes with experience, but because you're so young, you're finding it early. Congrats.
All right, Ali, thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.
And thank you for joining us here for another NBA playoffs, along with me, Finn, and with Nickel and Roy, and I look forward. We'll see you next time for another NBA playoffs on 2K Sports. Good night in Orlando. Bye-bye. All right, thank you very much, Fan. And what they said is an extension. It's a 3-0 series for Boston Celtics. They've been crushing it out for lately. And I am not kidding, because they've been pulling it in for some hustle.
Yeah, it's been a big making afterwards, and it just doesn't make anything helpful. I gotta say this, Paintbrush, I mean, we don't play it like that, and not even me.
Here's how you did with the total statistics. As you could say now, there, Balloon. And it happens with most teams. They couldn't get away with that. 34 field goal percentage with 27% on the three-pointers. And then it was 93 for the free throws. 15 and 34 fast break points and points in paint for the Boston Celtics. Both teams have 6 chances from the point with Boston or Orlando. Then it was 22 bench points for Orlando Magic. 11 assists in a row here by between Boston and Orlando. 10 defensive rebounds for Orlando, and 40 for defensive rebounds for Boston. 1 steal, 2 blocks, 3 turnovers, 5 team fouls, 6 dunks, and 8 biggest lead for the Boston Celtics. And it was 17-01. A chance over, it doesn't make it happen for Orlando Magic. They've really been keeping it from here. Alright, Balloon, let's have your take here for 3-star players of the game.
Alright, thank you so much. First star starts off with one big change up, and it would be to take for the time to tell. Franz Wagner, 12 points in the game with 4 rebounds and 1 assist. He only had 3 out of 9 field goals, and he had 14 performance. He was better at a player of the year since 2018, but this time, it doesn't need to be named like he did for Now for our second star player of the game, as we go over to the Boston Celtics. And one of our big takes in for a New Balance player of the game must have been taken in. Jaylen Brown with 14 points and 8 rebounds. He made 4 assists, 6 out of 15 field goals, and he didn't make any 3-pointers. It was too much of a deal, and he only had 24 performance with 2 dunks. That gives him every step to try to put back in. He didn't really think it was going to be hard for Jaylen Brown, but JB scores over and over. And for your number 1 star, the New Balance player of the game goes to Jason Tatum with 25 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 8 out of 15 field goals with 3-pointers. And it was only 27 performance effort, and he does a banker take with 2 dunks. That was all he did. Jason Tatum is a big star at the end.
Alright, and that will do for the first game of the night here of the NBA playoffs on 2K Sports. Coming up next will be the Warriors facing against the Lakers for the Pacific Coast rivalry team in Game 3, so stay tuned for the next game. That will be underway soon, beginning at 10 p.m. If you're ready with this, you're going to love it too.
Alright, we'll see along how this goes as we say goodnight to Orlando Magic. And thank you all for watching. And as for being said, see you folks later for a while as the NBA playoffs on 2K Sports Style. Thank you for watching.
And see you all for our next game. So long, Orlando.
If you don't, somebody will.